Joining us today for Cape Chronicle, I'm Audrey Kane. Today we'll be talking about the Cape Rotary Club, the Community Emergency Response Team, and youth substance abuse. Our guest, Robert Gifford from the Cape Rotary Club, is here to talk with us about the club's 100th anniversary and upcoming gala. Next, Community Emergency Response Coordinator Jim Watkins joins us today to discuss his history with the CERT program and upcoming retirement. And Early Prevention Impacts Communities Coordinator Jessica Bellinger joins us to talk about youth substance abuse. That's all ahead on Cape Chronicle.
I've been delivering Meals on Wheels to Leon for 13 years.
It's always a pleasure to see you.
Leon has definitely inspired me to put more into my relationships. He really cared for his wife, who was ailing for quite a while, in such a touching way that inspired me to be a better person.
Drop off a warm meal and get more than you expect. Volunteer at americaletsdolunch.org.
America, let's do lunch. Welcome to Cape Chronicle. I'm Audrey Kane. Robert Gifford is the current president of the Cape Rotary Club, here to talk with us about the club's upcoming 100-year anniversary. Thank you so much for coming, Robert.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Well, so for those who are not familiar with the Rotary Club, tell us what the club does, what you stand for, what kind of events you have, that kind of thing.
Well, Rotary is actually Rotary International, so it's an international organization. Several million members around the entire world. And basically the belief of Rotary is service above self. So it was begun by some business leaders in Chicago, actually in 1914. And their whole idea was to have comradeship, get together, discuss situations in the world and try to improve the world, not only at home, but in other countries. Ironically, the Cape Girardeau Club, there are 3 clubs in our city, but the original club, the Rotary Club of Cape Girardeau, began in 1919. In fact, basically just down the street 1 block, there was an old hotel called the Idana Hotel. And that's where they had their first meeting. And then for 50 years, I think, they met in the Marquette, which is now the Marquette Technology Center, but that hotel. So the organization is so proud in our own community of having 100 years history. And then our club mothered, so to speak, or started the Cape West Club and the Jackson Club, and actually County Club, some other clubs in the area.
What is it like to be a Rotarian? What can it do to enrich your life?
Well, of course, when the club originally started, hundreds of years ago, the ideal was they allowed membership for 1 person from each profession. So you would go as, say, a banker. You would meet maybe a president of the university or somebody like this. And now, since it's such a large international organization, they no longer have that restriction. But what was neat for me, coming from education, coming from the university, I actually got to meet people in the business world in the community whom I really didn't know very well and hadn't had those opportunities. So it's an opportunity to broaden your own horizons. So
a bit of networking, but more on a personal level?
Yes, theoretically there's not to be any business type networking where you're trying to recruit, business and so forth. But it's networking in the sense that you get to know the people, you actually get to know their families and a little history and so forth. And at the meetings each week, we always learn things about what's going on in the county, what's going on in the state. This year we had the new lieutenant governor came to speak to us. So it's an opportunity to find out what's going on.
What do you think is maybe your favorite part about being a Rotarian?
Well, when I originally started, I kind of have my own unique story as to how I got into Rotary. I was actually, a surgeon was leaning over me, and I wasn't knocked out, fortunately. The surgeon was leaning over me for some minor surgery with a scalpel in his hand. And he's still a local doctor, and he said, "Say, how would you like to join Rotary?" And I looked at the scalpel and said, "Sure, where do I sign up?" So I didn't really have a lot of choice. But no, seriously, it's an opportunity, and I felt like it would be an opportunity, especially for those of us who don't have a lot of money to donate to things, to make your money go further. Because almost any time somebody in the club donates money to the international or national foundation, it's doubled and tripled. So it gives you an opportunity to feel like you're doing something worthwhile in the world.
So speaking of that, doing something, what are some of the projects that you all have been working on lately?
Well, of course, the big project internationally is Rotary is attempting to help the Bill Gates Foundation and groups like that actually stop polio, to end polio.
Oh, wow.
And they've spent literally billions of dollars in that direction. And of course, we keep thinking we've done it, and then all of a sudden, someplace like Pakistan or something, it breaks out again. But that's one of the big projects. For us locally, we've done a lot of projects right here in Cape Girardeau. We've started a children's arts and learning center in South Cape for the children that live there. And so there are all kinds of opportunities to get involved, not only internationally, but in our own community.
So I mentioned earlier the 100th anniversary, and we were talking about when it was formed. You said 1919. What's going into that anniversary celebration?
Well, unfortunately, I agreed to be president this year, and this was before I realized the implication. But we've been working on this for a year and a half. And it's a big event for us, and the really big news is that we have the incoming International Rotary President is going to be here on April the 5th. There's no significance in that date other than the fact, because actually our 100th year is March the 1st, is our birthday celebration. But the Rotary International President said, "Yes, I'll come, but I have to come on April 5th. So, hey, we're having the celebration on April the 5th.
Okay, so will it be at a convention area? Is it going to be at the casino? Where are you looking to hold your event?
Yes, at the casino.
Okay.
This is where we meet now. And we're looking at right now about 300 people attending this event.
Oh my goodness.
And it's not just a celebration of the Cape Girardeau Rotary Club, because the Jackson Club, which we started, is 90 years old this year. And so it's a celebration of Rotarians and Rotary in all of Southeast Missouri.
Okay, so some say that Civic Club, obviously it's been around 100 years. You guys are going strong. You've started other organizations. But some people say that civic clubs are on the decline. What do you say in answer to that?
Well, I think it's definitely, and that's why it's sort of miraculous that we're still around after 100 years. I think every club of that nature is working hard to find identity is maybe the right word, value in our society as things have changed so drastically. Luckily, we've been able to keep our membership fairly active, and one of the reasons is when they originally started, of course, women weren't allowed in the club, and that's long ago in the past. So we have almost 50% of our club are women. There are lots of younger members. In fact, we're working right now with the possibility at the university of starting what they call a Rotaract, or like a university age student club, because there are opportunities there for scholarships and study abroad, all kinds of work experience and so forth. So we like to sponsor things like that to bring in younger, fresher ideas.
That's a great idea, because a lot of times college students don't know there are scholarships available from organizations, local organizations like the Rotary. So that's great that you are thinking about that. How would someone go about joining the Rotary?
Well, the first step, I mean, you could go online first of all and look at Rotary, and there would be some information there. But to find out who is a club member in our community and just talk to them.
Okay.
And we do quite a bit of reaching out when somebody new comes to the community, you know, and let's say you're a banker and joins your bank. Usually they invite that person to visit Rotary and see what it's all about.
Well, it has been a pleasure to have you here to chat about the Rotary Club. I know that there are many members in our community, and we'll be glad to share the organization with anyone that asks.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much for coming out. We've been talking with Robert Gifford. Thanks again for coming by. On the way next, get to know Community Emergency Response Team Coordinator Jim Watkins. That's coming up on Cape Chronicle.
Marie, you have prediabetes.
Prediabetes? I don't have time to eat right or exercise. I'm a busy mom.
Oh, you're a busy mom.
Yeah.
This is great news. Busy moms never get prediabetes.
Wait, what?
Let me just... Yeah, this is all the people at risk for prediabetes, and way over here, busy moms. No?
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly and put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back to Cape Chronicle. I'm Audra Kane. Jim Watkins is the CERT coordinator for Southeast Missouri, here to talk with us about his involvement with the program. Thanks so much for coming by, Jim.
Thank you for having me.
I'm not the only person I know who does not know the acronym CERT well enough. So if you would explain what CERT is, that would be great.
CERT is really a misleading terminology. CERT stands for Community Emergency Response Team. We are more of a resource than a response team. We do get called out, do what we call deployment, but that is at the behest or at the request of an emergency manager of any capacity in any county in the state of Missouri, but more especially in Region E, which is the 13 counties in southeast Missouri.
Okay, so as the body of CERT, what are the activities, what are you called into action to do in the case of an emergency?
We started out as any natural disaster, earthquake, tornado, any of those things, but because of our society, we've now into some terrorist events. If we're requested, those are crime scenes, so we have very limited. We don't want to mess up anything.
Right. I hadn't even thought about that because, right, in the case of a terrorist attack, you all would have to be mindful of the investigation
Absolutely.
Of that event. Fortunately, we have not experienced anything like that. I'm thinking back to, I think it was 2009, there was a big ice storm event.
Yes.
That was before I moved here, and so that would be the kind of case where CERT might be called into action, yes?
Yes,
Okay.
To check on people, especially the elderly, but if we call it health and well-being checks.
Okay.
Do you have what you need at home? Is there something we can go for you? If single mother with a baby,
Right.
You don't want them to get out in an ice storm. So again, it's at the request of emergency managers and what they want us to do. We work under the ICS program, which is Incident Command System. So we take our orders from the person in charge, and they give us explicit orders as to what they want us to do and how they want us to handle things.
Okay, so I have like a long list of questions
Okay.
here, and I know that you actually teach community emergency response teams. Now, does that mean that you develop smaller groups within the CERT program?
We teach CERT classes in 13 counties.
Oh, okay.
So we want the counties to be able to take care of themselves.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So within those county groups, what kind of people come to those? I mean, do churches participate in those?
Anyone and everyone. We do a lot of church trainings, but we also do businesses
Okay.
because of business continuity. If a business doesn't have their employees at work, they can't produce whatever they're making in order to sell those things to pay the employees. So it takes everyone in the community working together to keep the community going.
Okay, that makes so much more sense, because now that you think about it, you know, if you have to have your grocery store open in order to provide food for the
Right.
community,
Right.
someone at the grocery store has to know how to get people to work and all of that.
And stock the shelves.
Exactly. Okay, so the light bulb is going
Right,
off over my
right,
head as I'm
right.
thinking about this, because I'm like, well, how does that apply to me?
Yeah.
Well, it applies to me in that run of milk and bread.
Absolutely.
In those bad storms, and you know those happen every single time,
Yes.
because you go in there and it looks like, you know, it's the end of the world. So you're teaching CERT. What goes into that program? Say I walk in and I'm going to take the course with you. What happens?
There is CERT is a 24-hour course.
Okay.
And we teach it however the individuals want it, either broken up into 8-hour cycles or 4 hours or whatever we can do. There are 8 chapters that we cover. Disaster preparedness at home, because we want people to be prepared at home. If they're not, how can they leave their home to go to the business to make that whole system work?
Right.
Okay. We actually put out a real fire with a fire extinguisher. We do search and rescue training. There's all kinds of ways that we want you to do things safely. And that's basically taking care of yourself, taking care of your family, and it all goes better from there.
What do you think is the most important part of the training that you teach? What is the really core factor to that?
Taking care of yourself and your family.
It's like that, you know, you're on a plane and they tell you, put your oxygen mask on first.
There's a reason for that.
Then do so for the person sitting next to you, because, you know, you can't get them. So I know that people can sign up for
Yes.
the CERT course. How do they go about doing that?
We actually register through the Southeast Missouri State University, their
Oh.
continuing ed department.
Okay.
CERT is a coalition of people working together, partnership. We offer our classes at the Cape County Health Department in County of Cape. So it's everywhere. I mean, if a business, if our requirements are to have 15 people in a class, and we will do it at churches, businesses, wherever we can, and there's no charge, because we have a Homeland Security grant ran through the City of Cape Girardeau and their fire department to oversee that and make sure that things go the way they're supposed to.
So I'm going to get a little personal
Okay.
and ask you why you do this.
I would say it's a passion. I want people to be able to take care of themselves. Families are very important to me, and I think that people need to be able to take care of their families first. And if they're not prepared, that's my only mission, is to everyone should be prepared for whatever, whether it's an ice storm. I mean, Southeast Missouri has it all.
Yeah, unfortunately, we do. We were
We
just
do.
talking about that a little while ago, about the fact that there's, we're tornadoes and ice storms and possibility of an earthquake. So we've got it all.
Yeah.
Well, just real briefly,
Okay.
what's the most exciting thing emergency that you've ever worked, do you think?
Through CERT or through my previous life?
Oh, I don't know. Let's go with CERT.
Just being able to help people get ready for whatever it may be. I mean, CERT is an all-hazard class. We don't prepare for the earthquake. We don't prepare. It's
Just
an
prepare
all-hazard.
for something in general.
A car crash. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
first aid. That's why we
A train crash.
Yes.
And we've got one.
Well,
So,
yes.
all right. Well, thank you so much for coming by, Jim. It has just been such a pleasure to chat with you, and I would encourage anybody to participate in the CERT program. After the break, we will hear from Early Prevention Impacts Communities Coordinator Jessica Bellinger. That's next on Cape Chronicle.
Hi! Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Being a dad is an adventure full of special moments.
A cruise?
Right.
Unexpected moments.
I got this.
And even awkward moments.
Okay, Dad, thank you.
But every moment you spend with your kids, even the smallest moments, can make the biggest impact on your child's life. So take a moment to be a dad today.
At Southeast Missouri State, we've been launching the extraordinary careers of educators for nearly 150 years. But that's the thing about educators. They're always ready to learn more, discover new paths, and push themselves to the next level. With our new online educational leadership programs, you can earn the credentials needed to move up in your career. With flexibility for your schedule, accelerated courses, and an affordable price, together we can transform our learning communities and prepare you to conquer your goals.
This is Cape Chronicle, and I'm Audrey Kane. We're joined now by Early Prevention Impacts Communities Coordinator Jessica Bellinger, here to talk with us about youth substance abuse. All right, so in an effort for full disclosure, you and I have been friends for almost 10 years, so I know you a little too well, so if I make you giggle, don't hate me.
Right back at you.
I really enjoy talking with people that I know well, and then I'm exploring a facet of their life that I do not know well. And I think there's probably some people who watch the program who don't know that you are so involved in EPIC. Tell me what the acronym stands for again.
Right. EPIC stands for Early Prevention Impacts Community, and we are a youth substance abuse prevention coalition.
And it used to be called something else, though, right?
Yes, it was this really long name. Like I'm going to get it wrong.
Youth Substance Abuse Coalition.
Youth Substance Abuse Prevention Coalition. It was a big long name. So anyway, we went with EPIC because, you know, why not? EPIC it stands out. It is catchy, and it looks good in a logo.
Oh, so. It does look good in a logo. You're wearing good job wearing the bracelet representing. Listen, I know as a mother, for you, it impacts you directly. But what is it that you all are attempting to do with the EPIC program?
Right. We're a substance abuse prevention coalition, but, you know, do you remember like when we were in school, all the prevention stuff was like the eggs in the frying pan, and this is your brain,
this is your brain on drugs. Yeah.
Right. So we remember that, but we kind of do a different spin on it where we promote the positive. We promote healthy behaviors in the community with kids. We promote good things because we all know that if kids have positive activities, positive people in their lives, they're probably not going to do drugs. So instead of coming at them punitively and don't, we do fun, cool things that the kids don't even realize maybe that they are getting this anti-drug message, but they are. So we've got a couple cool programs that we do that with.
I'm smiling because we've had Lee Ragsdale on the program from Jefferson Elementary, and she's all about positive reinforcement for
love
kids.
That.
And you and I both know that the more you praise them to success, the better that they're going to do. So with the program, and how long have you been the coordinator?
I have just started working with EPIC. I've been affiliated with them in the past and a couple years ago, but I just started in September.
Okay, so I'm excited to hear about what you all do, but I want to know, I know you have some events coming up in April, and I want to hit those quick so that we don't run out of time for those.
We do. We have, we're planning right now for a town hall, which personally, you know, town hall to me sounds like angry people and upset about something, but this is a happy town hall. We are inviting middle school age, high school age, and their parents to come together, come talk about what makes your community epic. We want to know, like, kind of what's going right. What do we have here in their community, and what is their community? You know, communities can mean different things to different people. So we just want to celebrate what's going right, and we're going to have a collaborative painting done. So we're going to invite everybody that's there to come up and paint a little bit on a big canvas, and we're going to have a local artist, my mom, Rosetta Witten, is going to facilitate that and bring it all together. And then what we're going to do, I'm so excited about this, it's going to be a traveling painting where we're going to have kids from Notre Dame, Jackson Middle School, Cape. We're going to have that travel and live there at the schools for a little bit and then take it. And so it's going to just kind of be this cool representation of our community coming together and celebrating what is going right.
And that's in April?
That's April 25th, yes.
And then there's another event in April as well, yes?
Yes, we are having a design contest, and we are asking kids to come up with a logo, a design that inspires them with the question, what makes your community epic? That's the inspiration. They have no parameters except for that. And then the winning design might just be featured on a t-shirt, and the top designs are going to be featured at the town hall, and we're going to just really, it's just going to be fun. I don't know.
That sounds fantastic, though. I mean, and reaching out into the schools in the local community, of course, is one of the best ways to reach kids.
Yes.
And I'm assuming that you also have some programs that you guys go into the schools with. We've just got about a minute left.
Okay. Yeah, really quick, I'll talk about two programs that we do that we're most known for is our Epic Pals program. My coworker Shelly facilitates that. She works with kids that might be considered at risk. She takes shelter dogs, and the kids she trains the kids how to train these shelter dogs.
That's fantastic.
It's amazing.
And what's the other one?
Epic Lens, and I facilitate that program. It is with photography. So these kids are getting these social emotional learning lessons. They're learning relationship skills, confidence. They're learning how to, the animal-human bond, empathy, communication, all these wonderful traits that these kids need to be successful. And they're having fun taking pictures of downtown Cape and training dogs.
I hear the passion in your voice about this.
I like it.
I'm excited that you're the coordinator, because it takes someone with passion to really make a program work. So congratulations on your new
Thank you, Audra.
That's great. It's so great to have you here. Jessica Bellinger, she is the coordinator for EPIC. Thanks again. And thank you for your time for joining us here on Cape Chronicle. The program is a collaboration between the Department of Mass Media at Southeast Missouri State University and the City of Cape Girardeau. Our producer is Nicolette Brennan. Our executive producer is Dr. Jim Dufek. I'm Audra Kane. Thanks for watching.